Hi class, happy week 4. Sorry for being a little late to the discussion again. Life has been a little bit more hectic this week. My boys have vacation Bible school and I've had some issues with my management at my rental management and stuff. So yeah, things have just been really hectic and I've been trying to push through. But I finally got all the reading done and I did the exercises. I wanted to focus on exercise 10.1. So this is where you find 3 thesis statements from papers you have written in the past and list them, and then walking through each one through the 3-step process on item 6, how each one would fare and what changes I would make and why. So the ones that I chose are, every creative project has a heartbeat, and that one fares okay. It's memorable and creative, but it's too broad and abstract. So like it doesn't sound like a thesis statement. It doesn't let the reader know what the paper is going to be about. So I should explain what the heartbeat means and identify the main points, the main ideas that the essay will discuss. That will make the thesis work a lot better as an umbrella because each body paragraph would have a clear place underneath it. So a revision that I could make would be like saying every creative project has a heartbeat, a central purpose that gives the work direction, emotional meaning, and a connection to its audience. So that's number 1. And then number 2 is I chose another one from the paper that we wrote in this class. I wrote ordinary objects often become vessels for memory, holding moments long after they pass. And that thesis fares a little bit stronger than the first one because it's a little bit more clearly focused on ordinary objects and memory. However, it still needs to be revised to be more specific because the reader will understand the general idea, but not exactly what kinds of objects, memories, or effects the essay will explore. So changes that I should make would be narrowing down the thesis by explaining how ordinary objects preserve memory or why it matters. That would help the topic sentence and evidence fit more neatly beneath the thesis. So a possible revision would be ordinary objects often become vessels for memory because they preserve emotional connections, represent important moments, and allow people to revisit the past in tangible ways. And my third thesis statement that I chose is through Schuyler's responses and relevant research, I gained a richer understanding of how theory translates into lived experience. I'm gonna sneeze. So this thesis is the most specific of the 3 because it names Schuyler's responses, research, theory, and lived experience. It gives the reader a clearer sense of what the essay is about. However, I think that it still could be improved just by identifying what theory is being discussed and examined. So the change that I should make is I should revise the thesis to name the specific theory or concept and explain what Schuyler's responses help reveal. This would make the thesis stronger as an umbrella because the body paragraphs could clearly connect to the interview, the research, and the real-world application. So a possible revision I could make is through Schuyler's responses and relevant research, I gained a richer understanding of how developmental theory translates into lived experience by showing how personal, background, relationships, and environment shape individual growth. So together, all these thesis statements are a lot stronger. They show that my writing often begins with strong central ideas. but each thesis can become better by being more specific, more arguable, and better connected to the body paragraphs and evidence that follow. So yeah, that was my work for the week. Thank you for joining me, and again, sorry I'm late.